Hello, doing here. I'm going to try to redo part 12 Iwaihime because there are quick loads from where I would need to start. So let's redo part 12. And to the 5 people that did watch it, I'm sorry, that video is now gone. That part 12 that I had a question mark next to, it's gone because I wanted to redo that. Anyway, let us begin.
ピカピカマジックでみんなのお家をクリーンクリーン。お掃除プリンセスマジカルリリーが素敵な魔法でみんなをハッピーハッピーハッピー。
Yeah, we're gonna be starting with. We're gonna have to deal with an idol now. I'm just thinking of how the what Dark Turn is gonna do. I can only imagine.
お掃除の国のプリンセスマジカルリリーだよ。今日はこのお部屋にお友達がみんなで来てくれるの。ちょっぴり気になる男の子もいて、リリー心臓がはち切れちゃうよ。でもリリー、このお部屋に本当に友達が呼べるかにゃ？無理だよね。どうしよう。あと1時間でみんなが来ちゃうよ。落ち着くにゃ。
Start to animal.
こんな時こそこれまでに覚えたお掃除魔法でお部屋をクリンクリンにするにゃ。上尾市文化プラザのみんな、リリーに力を貸して。
I had my fan on that entire time. Okay.
散らばったおもちゃを簡
Oh,
単
a
に
new character
生
is
産
going
で
to
き
be
る
Luke.
魔法。前回習ったのをちゃんと覚えてる？リリーと一緒におさらいしちゃおう。マジカルクリーン。
I felt everyone's eyes on me as I walked. I used to hate it, but not so much these days. Deep down, I wanted to wink at every last one of them, but sorry, school rules and all. It'd be a long time since I'd gone to the LCSE. I hadn't been over since the decision to add me to Flower High. Despite that, it didn't feel right that I'd only come back when I needed something from them, like today. Well, since I was dropping by, I had to make good use of the opportunity. The LCSE met in an empty classroom near the infirmary. Epes, Minobe, Harumiya, and Miss Hinagata would be there. Huh, was that a guy's voice just now? But I thought the LCSE didn't have any guys. I started to have the strangest feeling, like something new and wonderful. Something new was going to happen. I doubt it's going to be wonderful though. Now, how do you like this new setup for playing this game? I'm not covering anything, and it would be really interesting. It makes it really nice to do thumbnails. I'm not covering text, or I'm not covering a face. I might stick doing it like this, so I can, make it easier for me. Inside, 2 guys and girls of the LCSE were sorting through goods for the rumor sale.
こんにちは。お久しぶりです。あ、リリアちゃん。おお、お久しぶりだね。お仕事相変わらず忙しい？おかげさまで日々の多忙を楽しんでいます。
One of the guys was looking at me with confusion while the other's eyes had grown wide as saucers. We all stared at each other, clearly thinking, "Who are you?" But I could tell from the color of their uniforms that they were juniors. In other words, they were my upperclassmen. Time to turn out the manners then.
布川さん、紹介するわ。我がシャチホコ部待望の男子部員の2人よ。
はじめまして、先輩方。1年の布川リリアです。
So her real name is Riria Nunakawa.
リリアってクルスリリアちゃんいやマジで本当にうわ
I miss Natsuya.
クルスってのは芸名なんだって本名は布川リリアちゃん
この学校に通ってるって噂は聞いたことあったけど本当にいたなんてうわブギブギギャババーン
敦太くんが壊れたひょっとしてクルスリリアの大ファンだったり
お掃除プリンセスマジカルリリー小学校の時ずっと見てたっす俺リリアちゃんのずっとファンでした握手してください
I was very happy to hear he knew me, so I had to reward him for his enthusiasm.
ピカピカマジックでみんなのお家をクリンクリンお掃除プリンセスマジカルリリーが素敵な魔法でみんなをハピハピハッピー
Calm down. He jumped up and down with excitement while making all sorts of bizarre noises. I used to think people like him were creepy and disrespectful, but eventually I realized it was because of people like him that I could shine on.
はじめましてクルスリリアですお兄ちゃんの名前なんて言うの
熱田夏也って言います
夏代お兄ちゃんって言うんだ素敵な名前だね
ブヤーボ
うわナッチドン引くわ敦太くんってリリアちゃんの大ファンだったんだね
マジカルリリーが俺の名前を呼んでくれたグレート
There's a character in Shaman King, and I knew the way he talked reminded me of someone. His way of talking kind of reminded me of Natsuya here. Like whenever he's talking about like his great place and such, that reminded me of Natsuya. He's practically foaming at the mouth with joy. I'm so glad it was always best to give these types what they wanted.
布川さんって芸能人なんだ
知らない昔テレビでやってたお掃除プリンセスマジカルリリーって
ピカピカマジックでみんなのお家をクリンクリン知らねえのかよすすはらテレビはあんまり見ないからグレートスサラたる者がマジカルリリーを知らないとはアングレート
I had a hard time dealing with people who didn't watch a lot of TV. But within each one of them lay a potential fan, and converting them required steady effort. Perfect. I'd pull out all the stops and make him fall for my charms.
こんにちはお兄ちゃんクルスリリアですお兄ちゃんのお名前教えてほしいな
鈴原鈴だよよろしくねクルスさん
Oh, fuck, I forgot. The moment our eyes met, it was as though someone turned the lights out of the whole world. The two of us were alone in a dark world full of falling black snow. I felt like we were the only ones there. I never felt this way meeting another person before. It took all I had to hide my bewilderment, but Susuhara's bright smile never faded. Could he not see this world, or was it because he could see it?
君は誰？
I just told him my name was I'm gonna fuck up that name so many times. Riria Kursu. So what did he mean by that? Was it a philosophical question, or was there malice behind it? However, his eyes bore no ill will. It was downright unnerving in this quiet world of black snow.
クルス・リリアはお仕事の時の名前なの。学校では布川リリアって名前なんだ。
I tried matching his vibe to the best of my abilities, but the look on his face didn't change in the slightest. And for some reason, that hurt me more than anything. No, hold on. Why was I getting so worked up over a single greeting?
布川が本名で、クルスは芸名なんです。紛らわしかったらリリアと呼んでいただけると嬉しいです。鈴原先輩。
わかったよ。
ありがとうございます。
君は不思議な子だね。
Those words were way beyond hurtful and were enough to make me feel downright insecure. Just who was this guy?
鈴原！なんでお前だけ下の名前で呼ぶことが許されてるんだよ。羨ましすぎる。俺もリリーたんのことリリアちゃんって呼びたい。
厚田先輩も私のことは気軽にリリアって呼んでくださいね。
リリアちゃん
Oh my god.
リリアンもお仕事とはいえいろんな輩の相手大変だね。ファンサービスも立派なお仕事ですので。リリアちゃんって可愛いよね。私もあんな女の子に生まれ変われたらな。
キコちゃんは今のままだって負けないくらいに可愛いよ。
Now that was something I just couldn't let stand. My mind was made up. This was a trial I've been handed in my new life as Riria Kursu. Mark my words, Suzuhara, I'll make you my fan. I decided I'd force him to understand my appeal, whether he liked it or not. I stand no chance of success in Flower High if I couldn't even pull that off.
今日はどうしたの？お稽古の合間に顔を出してくれたのかしら？
次の日曜日にシャチホコ部の活動があるかなと思いまして。
あら、ひょっとして参加できるの？
はい、実はちょっと取材が入ることになりまして。
The topic would be how does Riria Kursu spend her Sundays? I've had an interest in community service ever since I played the cleaning princess, although I was also doing it to build my image of being a pure-hearted idol. However, the LCSC's activities took place on Sundays, so it worked out perfectly for the interview. I wouldn't get any bad karma for that or anything, right?
ちょうどよかった。次の日曜日はIwaihime神社での清掃活動があるわよ。
ぜひそれに参加させてほしいんです。
Cleaning up a shrine. Perfect. That would make up for nice. That would make for nice publicity.
グレート！シャチホコ部に入ってよかった。クルス・リリアとマジカル・リリーと一緒に神社でお掃除プリンセスできるなんて。
Who voices Natsuya? Because they're just the best.
ナッチ、あんまキモいとタイプだからね。
それはアングレートっすよ、部長。
おいらを部長と呼
やっぱり布川さんが来ると華やぐわよね。取材が来るなら私たちもしっかり頑張らなくちゃね。
私も撮影とかされちゃうかな。美容院とか行った方がいいかな。
多分僕たちは撮影されないと思うよ。されなくてもいい。ただ同じ空気を共有できるだけでいいんだ。
まあリリアンの迷惑にならない程度には小綺麗な方がいいと思うよ。ですよね。私も身だしなみをしっかりしてお掃除でハピハピハッピーしなきゃ。
アイドルデビューのチャンスはいつどこにあるかわからないのよ。素敵なルックスが当日カメラマンさんの目に留まっちゃって、美人教師発見、まさかの美魔女アイドル芸能界デビュー。でも私は教師なの。芸能界との二足のわらじは。
I forgot that she did this.
どうしたらいいの？タマユン、ちょっと弓見すぎ。そんなことないです。チャンスなんて本当に些細なきっかけからですよ。私の知ってる子でも本当に些細なことからデビューにつながった子とかたくさんいますから。じゃあ当日ひょっとしたら私たちにもチャンスがあるのかな。
To be honest, I hate encouraging unrealistic dreams, but it sounded like they were all having fun, so I wasn't about to ruin that for them.
じゃあ日曜日はよろしくお願いいたします。あれ、今日はもう帰っちゃう？すみません、ダンスのレッスンが入ってるもので。
相変わらず忙しいのね。先生寂しいわ。
フラワーハイスクールってダンスがキレキレだからな。なるほど、それでリリアちゃんもダンスレッスンが欠かせないわけだ。
あんなに踊れるんだからよっぽどレッスンしてるんだろうね。
お稽古頑張ってね。
頑張るよ、すすはらお兄ちゃん。
She's trying desperately. Those words will make any boy's heart skip a beat, yet Suzuhara only seemed confused. Seemed I'd have to bridge the gap with him a little more before I could reach his heart.
お稽古頑張ってください。
He's oh my god, Natsuya is so desperate.
俺のこともう一回熱田お兄ちゃんって言って
べー、リリアは紳士じゃない人にはサービスしません。
I gave him a little wink. Well, he almost passed out just from that. Cute. Wish I could have said the same for Suzuhara. He had to be either living under a rock or he wasn't into girls. Those are the only reasons I could think of why my charms wouldn't work on him.
さっき言ってたフラワーハイスクールって何？
リリアちゃんが入ったアイドルユニットの名前だよ。
お掃除プリンセスを卒業後一度はアイドルを休業されたんだけどな。この春フラワーハイスクールの5人目のメンバーになることが明らかになったのさ。マジカルリリーが帰ってきてくれたんだ。グレイト！ハイスクールって言うから学校だと思ってたよ。
高校生だけのアイドルユニットなんだって。
高校教師はその枠には入らないのかしら。
今は小学生アイドルユニットまであるくらいだし、タマユンの需要は時代がもう一周くらいしないとないんじゃないかな。
すごいんだね。武道館とかで歌ったりするんだ。
今はライブハウスがメインです。武道館もいつか行きたいですね。
秋葉娘とか桃色組エースとかなら聞いたことあるよ。
Those ones were the big leagues. We didn't begin to measure up to them. People who only knew basic stuff like that really did get on my nerves. But even so, I couldn't slack on my effort to convert people like that into fans. I would make Suzumu Suzuhara fall for me if it was the last thing I did.
クルス・リリアって誰？芸能人？知らねえのかよ、ススハラ。グレートなお前らしくねえぜ。 お掃除プリンセスマジカルリリーって知らねえのかよ。テレビでやってたろ。
テレビはあんまり見ないからな。でも秋葉娘とか桃色組エースとかなら聞いたことあるよ。
おいおい、そんなメジャーどころと比べるなよ。リリアちゃんの入ったフラワーハイスクールってのは身近なアイドルをテーマにしたミニマムさが売りなんだぜ。
ミニマムさってよくわかんないけど、つまり秋葉娘とかに比べたらそこまでは人気ないってこと？
最初っから大人気のとこなんかありませんよ。今はみんな無名からスタートして口コミで成り上がってく時代なんです。でっかい資本がバックについていきなりビッグに売り出すなんて、そんな昭和の時代の話をされても困るんです。
I sat up in my bed, feeling as though I'd been screaming at Suzumu Suzuhara despite his obvious absence. He was there in my dreams. He even felt like he was circling my bed, looking down on me and mocking me. What was wrong with me? In my line of work, hearing nasty comments was hardly uncommon. Plenty of people said that we were already past our prime, for example. So in that sense, the fact Suzuhara didn't mean it in a bad way made is rather tame. He said he didn't watch TV, so he probably didn't have any interest in the entertainment industry. Really, you couldn't survive in this business if you got hung up on every stupid comment you ever got, but... I screamed to the darkness, sweaty and unable to tell the difference between dream and reality, as this game is between dreams and reality. My pajamas were all gross and sticky on my skin. My hair was a mess too. Honestly, nothing felt right. After all, I still couldn't get Suzuhara out of my mind. Was it because of his innocent but ignorant comments that upset me? No, probably not. Was it because he didn't know about me or tricked me as a celebrity I was? That didn't sound right either. From what I could tell, he'd been on my mind ever since we first met. Love. That couldn't be it. There wasn't anything special about him that'd make me fall for him anyway. For whatever reason, Suzumu Suzuhara simply refused to leave my mind. My head remained a foggy haze even after I took a shower. I tried hating him. Since I didn't understand how I felt about Suzumu Suzuhara, I first attempted to interpret it as hate, but that wasn't it. For when I did, I was reminded of those pure and untainted eyes piercing right through me. I felt like I was going to get sucked into them by the memory alone. Didn't you just dismiss that already?
私を知る人はみんな熱狂的な反応を見せてくれる。実は私はそれに飽き飽きしていて、彼の反応がむしろ私には心地よかったとか。そんなわけない。だって私ムカついてるし。
No matter how hot or cold I made the shower, he just refused to vacate my mind. I didn't understand if this wasn't love or hate, then what was it? His face kept coming back into my mind's eye, almost like a photo burned into my brain. I drug my hair as I looked at myself in the mirror. Staring back at me was Ridria Kursu. Yet it felt like it was Suzumu Suzuhara instead, as if he were right there staring at me through the
あんた
mirror.
なんかに私の苦労はわからないです。
When I was a child, a talent usually set me up an audition for the part of the cleaning princess. Honestly, I thought I did badly. I was convinced I screwed up. When my mom asked how it went afterwards, I remember telling her that I blew it. But by some twist of good fortune, I made it through to the final selection. I remember the people at the agency putting me through lessons every day, trying to get me ready as quickly as possible. I didn't think I'd get the part, so when I received the acceptance letter, I jumped for joy. I even thought I'd used up all my luck for the rest of my life back then. In that moment, I found my resolve. I knew this was a once-in-a-lifetime chance, so I had to make the best of it.
ピカピカマジックでみんなのお家をクリーンクリーン。お掃除プリンセスマジカルリリーが素敵な魔法でみんなをハピハピハッピー。
ハッピーハッピーハッピーリリーちゃん。
みんなの心クリーンクリーンしちゃうぞ。
It's just grade school, but I overcame everything in my path and put myself in the forefront of everyone's minds. I was determined to build my fan base, and once they were my fans, I'd make them love me more and more. I did everything I could and thought of how I could go even further. That's what made me so perfect as a cleaning princess. Lily is my wife, and no one can take her from me. Riri is like an angel, but I wouldn't give to be in her class. Happy 10th birthday, Magical Lily Cleaning Princess Mascot Cars Association. Tragic news, adult fans buy up all the Cleaning Princess show tickets, leaving none for the kids. I wasn't Riri Kurusu, but Magical Lily, a magical princess from Cleaning Land. I was the perfect idol loved by fans both young and old. I had preached perfection when I was in grade school. Tragedy, our magical Lily has fallen from grace, too tall. Lily used to be my little angel, but now she's a total hag. Just look at her, she's definitely been around. The Lily we knew would have never been such a slut. My father is a tall and handsome man, and I used to be proud of that. Until I learned that I'd inherit those genes. That is, in the later years of grade school, I started going through a major growth spurt. My adorable petite frame adorned by so many transformed in the blink of an eye. Whenever I looked into a mirror, I felt like I was watching myself turn into a monster. I sang and danced my heart out. I worked hard and ad-lib and appeal to the crowd. I should have been the gold standard. Yet everyone said I'd fallen from my peak. Deep down, I agreed with them. The person I saw in the mirror was no longer Cleaning Princess Magical Lily. It was a tall creature with disgusting bulging breasts. Not a trace of pasty-like features remained in her face, eyes, or mouth.
お掃除プリンセスマジカルリリーが素敵な魔法でみんなをハピハピハッピー。
君は誰？
私はお掃除の国からやってきたマジカルリリー。
君は誰？
だからマジカルリリー。
誰？君は。
The figure of a person questioned me as we stood in a world of black snow that steadily piled up like soot. It was him, the shadow that had haunted me ever since I saw him in my dreams.
鈴原先輩。
君は誰？
分かってますよ。もうとっくにマジカルリリーなんかじゃないですよ。私だっていっぱい悩んだんです。化け物みたいになっていくこの体が恨めしかった。そうよ、私はとっくにマジカルリリーじゃない。 成長して体が変わって、それでリリーを卒業したのよ。でもお芝居だって歌だってダンスだって、リリーの頃よりずっと研ぎ澄まされてる。クルス・リリアは成長し続けてるの。マジカル・リリーより今の私の方がずっとすごいんだから。
But work stopped coming in once I stopped being Magical Lily. They actually sent me new jobs, but I never got the parts. Because the image everyone had of me was the pure, innocent, cleansing princess, and I didn't fit that anymore. Well, because puberty cursed me with this disgusting body. The agency suggested I play against type and take the sexy pinup girl route. But that would go completely against the image I'd worked so hard to maintain for so long. My mother and I were both vehemently opposed, but the agency didn't listen, claiming my previous short character and my current body just didn't match at all. Also, I only found out about this later, but it seemed that the staff had taken my unusual level of professionalism and attributed to arrogance. Because I didn't compromise with myself, I didn't compromise with others either. I hated the staff who wouldn't take me seriously, and the staff who wouldn't stop treating me like I was still a kid. Eventually, word spread that Riri courtesy was difficult to work with, so nobody wanted to work with me anymore. In other words, the agencies hadn't suggested a change in focus because they wanted to deny all that I'd done so far. It's because they couldn't refuse those who proclaimed they didn't want to work with such a brat ever again. At that point, my mother and I were furious at the agency's decision and lack of understanding. They probably felt they couldn't stick up for me anymore, either. Despite how massively popular the cleaning princess was, Ryukurusu couldn't find any work after it.
3年間干されて、自分と環境に折り合いがついて、やっとフラハイのメンバーに加われることが決まって、私は屈しない。そしてあの頃よりもっともっと成長した姿を見せて、みんなにこう言わせてやるの。リリアはマジカルリリーからクルス・リリアに生まれ変わって帰ってきたって。
Just then, his lips curled into a smile for the first time, almost as if permitting me. No, accepting me wholeheartedly. Perhaps he'd been trying to get me to stop putting up appearances and speak from my heart instead.
僕はあまりテレビを見ないから。
まあそういう人もいますし。
だから芸能人のことは詳しくないけれど、そんな僕が君のことを好きになれたなら、
私成功できるってことですよね。クルス・リリアとして。
こんな僕が君のことを好きになれたなら、きっと君は成功するよ。僕が保証する。
なら私きっと先輩に好きになってもらいます。私のこと、私の魅力絶対に認めさせてみせますから。
In the end, Chizuharu smiled one last time. The smile melted away, and all that remained was my face in the mirror staring back at me.
本当何なのかしら、鈴原先輩。
I was spoiled by all the attention I got, and may have let it get to my head. Maybe that's why people called me haughty. And perhaps he had appeared to admonish me before
最
that.
初はイラッときたけど、イラッと来ること自体私が高慢な証拠じゃない。
returning to the LCSE for the first time in a while had given me a funny feeling that something new would happen in the classroom, which would have been a sign that I would be reborn into a new me.
おやすみなさい、鈴原先輩。きっとあなたを私の虜にしてみせますから。
I went back to my room. I managed to see just fine when I woke up, but after spending time in the lit room I couldn't anymore. It's pretty amazing though human eyes worked. I turned on the light. The floor around my bed was sooty. Almost like someone had dragged a package covered in black dirt around the room. I must not have seen it in the dark.
何よこれ。
I wiped it up with a tissue. It wasn't thick enough to be dirt. Maybe it actually was soot. The way it was left behind, it looked like less like something was dragged and more like someone with soot-covered feet had walked around my bed. Chills ran down my spine when I saw a pattern clearly left by bare footprint. What's going on? Did that mean someone had been walking around my bed watching me sleep?
バカバカしい。
Well, I'd always kept my door and windows locked. So that couldn't be the case. Well...
ちょっと疲れてるのかも。
Come to think of it, I'd always been prone to nightmares. I probably just didn't notice the filth I'd left behind walking around in my dirty socks. Yeah, that'd explain it. All of a sudden, I started getting drowsy and decided to sleep. When I woke up the next morning, the sooty footprints were nowhere to be found. Ooh. Okay, so that's where we'll leave this episode of Iwaihime here. I'm glad I decided to go back to this. I don't know, I just really want to finish this game at some point. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe to be notified of future videos. This is where I leave it. Hopefully I'll be back at some point again with this, because I don't really want to keep continuing this game. This third story is going to be interesting. Anyway, I hope you return for more. Bye-bye.